Afternoon, guys. Working, bringing you a quick update on EOS. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far. Happy Wednesday. Now, EOS, since we spoke last time, I believe last time we spoke, EOS was sitting right in here at about 890, 885, 890, somewhere thereabouts. I believe it was sitting right here. I said, this may be the top of wave 5, but in my opinion, more than likely, we were going to see a push up to about 930 or thereabouts. If I head over to my analysis yesterday, you can see that's where I marked it. Top of wave 5 sitting somewhere around 930. Yeah, I said exactly 930 actually. And price came up and it hit right at 933 before it ended up correcting. So it was pretty close on that. The reason that's important, guys, is this means it's continuing to show market structure. That was a one-to-one hit the 1.0 fib level on our wave 5, which is what we wanted to see, almost to the tick. Just hit it exactly. So again, a very, very bullish indication, very, very, showing a lot of market structure here. Now price has been operating within this wedge here. We just, since I started making this video, it just started breaking out and it was quickly rejected by a wick. So let's see if it continues to break out to the upside or if we can expect it to break down. If price does end up breaking down, guys, more than likely I'm going to expect it to come down here into this zone somewhere around somewhere around 860 or 850 in that area, 855, 860, somewhere thereabouts. We can see that it's got some support there. It has been support in the past. Or resistance, one or the other in the past. So, if it does break down, that would give us an almost perfect A, B, C, D, E correction. See, it went up there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it come down here. It could go lower, guys, but the market is just looking. The market's looking so bullish at the moment. I don't want. I would expect. I would be very, very surprised if it did go lower than 855 right now as it's going, guys. Maybe possibly as low to the bottom of this structure right in here, possibly as low as 830, but I wouldn't expect anything lower than that. At least not the way things are looking right now. To the upside, if we do see a breakout, we might see something like a double top here. We might see it hit the top of this wave, which is about 933, 934, double top, and then end up coming right back down. Again, I think it would end up in this zone about 855, 860, somewhere between 850 and 860 would be my target if that does end up happening, guys. I'm not going to play that though. I'm not shorting this market right now. I mean, if this is the bull run that we're all waiting on, guys, then there's a very high probability this thing is just going to continue to tear up. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not even saying that this is the bull run we've all been waiting for, but I do think this is a temporary bull run, I do think there is still some upside to come, in my opinion. Doesn't mean that that will happen. This could just be pure manipulation, and then we just see this thing end up tanking. But for now, things are looking rather bullish. Let me zoom back out here to the 4-hour. If price does end up breaking up, we're going to be looking at taking out the top of these prior high here, which is about 944. We've got to get on the top of that. If price does get on the top of that, then I think there's a very high probability we're coming up here into the 930 zone, between 930 and 990. That's going to be a very, very strong resistance. That is a decent supply zone up there, again, between 930 and 990. So if price does end up coming up, I would expect it to come up into this zone, possibly get rejected back down to about, right around $10, so $990, $10, and then come back up and retest it. But this is going to be a very strong resistance for two reasons. One, because we have that supply zone sitting right up in there, and two, because as I pointed out yesterday, if we pull our fib from swing high to swing low, just get it right on here, guys. Stand by. There we go. Swing high to swing low. We can see that the 930 to the 1030 to 1090 supply zone lies right in between the 0.5 and 382 fib. So we may see this price break up, hit right off the 382 fib, come right back down, test the top of this, what was resistance would now be support, top of this zone at about 944, and then come back up to retest the 1030. But don't want to get ahead of myself, guys, but that's kind of what we're looking at. Above that, we need to get above, as I said yesterday, above the 618 fib level. So we need to get above this zone, above about above about 1210, 1230, somewhere thereabouts. If we can get on top of that, guys, algos will then start picking targets up to the upside. Until we get above that, they're still going to have some, not all, some algos are still going to be looking for a bounce and then picking targets down below. So, as I said, I'm not convinced that we are in a longer-term bull run. If we do get above that 618, so in other words, above about 1210, 1250, something like that, then I'm going to start getting excited that this thing might have some legs. Let me get a drink of water, guys. Stand by. Okay. All right, we're on the 4-hour chart now, looking at the histogram. We can see the signal line, MACD line, both continue to trend up, looking bullish. The RSI is oversold, overbought, sitting around 75.7, somewhere thereabouts. So it could still go up if it gets up into the 80 or anything above 80. I would expect a definite pullback. But for now, it's definitely oversold, but it's looking extremely bullish. But again, I wouldn't be surprised to see a small correction here in the short term before it continues up. And of course, this is going to depend on Bitcoin, guys. If Bitcoin just ends up climbing, so is EOS. It's going to climb right along with it. Looking at the stock RSI, get on the 4-hour. Yeah, I mean, it's corrected a little bit, guys. It's starting to reset. We do need to see it end up resetting, but whether or not that happens in the short term, remains to be seen. Looking at the daily RSI is sitting right about 55.7 or thereabouts, so neutral to bullish territory. It's starting to look more and more bullish as we continue up here. Let's see here. Yeah. The stock RSI is starting to get oversold, overbought. So again, we may see a temporary pullback. Signal line and MACD line are both looking rather bullish, showing absolutely no signs of reversing course. I mean, just on a tear, it looks like. Sorry about that, guys. Had to get a little more water. So anyway, guys, I mean, it looks to me like this may come up, create a double top, and then come back down and test this little bit of resistance or support at around 860 or thereabouts. Again, if I zoom way in though on the chart, we move into the 40 or to the 30-minute. Can I get an ABC out of this? Yeah, I could. I mean, we could call this an A, this being the B, and then a very shortened, truncated C wave, and then off to the races. Now that doesn't look beautiful to me, but again, I don't want to. We're trying to remain cautiously optimistic, and I don't want to underestimate this market at all. If this thing is, like I said, if this is the bull run we're all waiting for, guys, this thing could just keep going up. But in a traditional market, I would absolutely be expecting a B wave followed by another C wave to come down and test this 855, 860 or somewhere thereabouts, and then from there I would expect another impulse. So something like this. Yeah, and then all the way up. So I'm not going to get into that now, guys, but actually it would be more like this. And I'm just eyeballing it, guys, just to give you kind of an idea, though. So this is kind of what I'm expecting in the short term, a little bit of a pullback followed by possible another wave up. Once we get down into about 860, somewhere thereabouts, then I'd be looking for another bounce up. If that doesn't happen, and if that 860 support ends up failing and ends up dropping, we may end up coming back down in here. This created a little bit of a demand zone between, somewhere around 790 and 8. Between 790 and 810, somewhere thereabouts. And if it drops below that, guys, then then we're going to start getting concerned again that this was just manipulation, and we're just coming right back down. But for now, guys, things are continuing to look bullish, and of course, this is tied to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin ends up dropping, EOS is going to drop as well, and vice versa. If Bitcoin rises, EOS is going to rise as well. Looking at our 4-hour chart, I've got the 200-day MEA is in pink, is in purple. And you can see, guys, that price has not only just crushed above all the 55, the 21, the 8-day, of course. It's now reached above the 200-day MEA, which is just very, very bullish. Also, considering that now we're looking at how price has acted, how the 200-day MEA has acted as support now, support for this price. So again, just an extremely, extremely bullish looking chart. 21-day MEA has now risen above the 100-day MEA as well as the 55. I mean, this is just looking like a very, very bullish looking setup, guys. Extremely bullish. Now let's switch out to the daily. On the daily, we can see price rose above the 21-day EMA. I talked about that yesterday. We could see it's finding a little bit of resistance at about the 200-day EMA. Above that, I'd like to see price get above the 55-day EMA here. If price can get above the 55-day EMA, especially if it can do it by the end of today, that's going to be a very, very bullish sign. But at the very least, we need to see price remain above the 21-day EMA if this thing has any legs. And again, if we can get above the 200-day MEA, that'd be extremely bullish as well, guys. But we're looking at the 8-day EMA. It looks like it's about to, it's wanting to cross above the 21. It's just looking like we're moving into bullish territory, guys. We're moving into bullish territory. On the daily, longer term, I'm going to start getting excited when the 8-day EMA rises above the 55-day EMA. Once that happens on the daily chart, guys, then I'm going to start looking at a longer term bull run. So these are my quick thoughts on EOS for now, guys. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves. Please trade safe. This is Working, signing out.